Hi again. Now it is the time to take this project to Substance Painter. Alright, to take this to Substance Painter, that means I need to save it as FBX. So let's go to File and let's go to Export and let's export FBX and just save it in any place that you want. So I'm going to save it in a specific place, maybe right here. Let's create a folder called Export and just export it and then go to Substance Painter, open it, and now I'm inside Substance Painter. I'm going to hit File and then Control N or hit New, and this window will pops up. Just hit Select from the file and select the file that you saved. Here we have an export. Yeah, maybe this one right here. And in Substance Painter 2020, here we have some option here: import camera, auto Arab. Just turn off all of these choices, UDIMs, turn off this option and just select the FBX file and then just hit OK. And that's all what you want to do. So now we are inside Substance Painter and everything looks fine. If you want to zoom in and zoom out, just rotate the wheel of the mouse for zoom in and zoom out. And if you want to tumble around, you can hold Alt and use the left click to move to tumble around. Sorry, just like that. And if you want to pan, just like that, hold Alt and click the wheel mouse to pan, just like that. And if you want to dolly or zoom in, zoom out in another way, you can hold Alt and hold right click and move the mouse forward and backward, just like that. So now let's take a look. Let's see what we got. If ever Now everything looks clean and nice, and we don't have any problem here. Well, the next step after you import your geometry, you need to jump here to this option. It's called texture sets, and you need to bake the mesh map. And as you see here, we have bunch of map we need to bake. So what I will do is I will choose the size uh, to 2K and then go to bake mesh map, and here we have bunch of option here we need to select. I don't need any thickness or any normal here. I need ID, I need all of these choices, but I don't need any normal and thickness. And here I have the outputs. The output should be 2K. Let's select 2K and let's jump to the ID section and make sure to change the color source from material color to vertex color, as we did in Blender when we used vertex paint, if you remember. So that's very important to keep in your mind to change this one. And for ambient occlusion, here we have bunch of choices. I need to switch the self occlusion to only same mesh name. That's very important too, because if you don't select this one, the ambient occlusion will affect the other geometry. So just change this one to the only mesh name. And what else we should do here? Uh, I think that's all what you want for baking. And when you complete, if you want, you can bake the chest mesh map alone, or you can bake all the texture sets. So I will bake everything here, and when the baking is completed, I will be back. Alright, now the baking is complete, and now we have some information and maps, as you see right here. I'm going to hit OK, and I need to check the result here. I will turn off this and switch this from material to ID. I just want to see the ID. And as you see here, we have some information here for the ID, but we don't have this information for the arm and for the legs and for the head. So that means there is a problem. Let's jump back to this option and let's open the bake, and let's uh, let's change this. Let's go to texture set list. By the way, I just made some change to the interface. I grabbed the shelf and put it right here, and the texture set, it should be right here. I just dock it with the shelf. So now I have two panel right here. So now I am in the texture list set list, and here I have the chest and the head and the left arm, left leg, right arm, right leg. Now if I switch to the head, as you see, the head doesn't have any information of the ID. I mean the vertex pen that we added in the blender. So select the head and jump to this option and open Bake Mesh Map, and let's do the same thing. Let's jump to ID and let's switch this to vertex color and go to ambient occlusion, change this to only same mesh name, and let's bake this alone, but I don't need to bake anything, just the ID and ambient occlusion. So just bake these together alone, hit bake head mesh, and let's wait for this. And now as you see, we bring back the information of the ID. Alright, so that's cool. Now what I will do, I will switch to the left arm and go to the bake map, and the same technique here. Let's switch this, let's switch to the ID and change this to the vertex color, and this one let's change the self occlusion to only same mesh, and let's bake the left arm mesh map to bring back the information of the ID. And now as you see, we fixed the ID information. Now we have some information of the ID right here. Let's hit OK and let's switch to the other texture set here, and the same thing. Let's go to Bake Mesh Map and let's jump to ID, switch this to vertex color, go to ambient, change this to only same mesh, and bake the leg. And let's wait for this to finish. So as you see, we finished the leg, hit OK, and now we have some information right here. Alright, now let's switch to the right arm and let's jump back to Bake Mesh Map, and the same thing, switch this one and switch this and hit bake this texture set. Alright, now when you complete, just hit OK, and let's switch to the last texture set. The same thing, go to ID, switch this to vertex color, and this one to only same mesh name, and bake. Alright, now we finished all the baking, hit OK, and all of these texture sets, they are the material that we added in the blender. So inside Substance Painter understand that the material is the object here. I mean, if you hide any of this material or texture set, as you see, we can toggle on and off the object. Let's switch this back to the material. You can hit M from the keyboard to jump back. So if you go to the head and turn off the head, if you remember, we added material called head to the head, and now this material, now it is texture set. We can hide and unhide the head from the material, so just keep that in your mind. Alright, so now everything is ready. I think everything is clean. We just need to start the journey of the texture, but before that you need to save, because sometimes Substance Painter crashed and you don't need to have this problem. It is very important to save your project, so just go to save, to file, sorry, and save as, and save your project. Alright, now we are ready. We will start texturing this robot in the next tutorial, so see you next.